rap game like I'm shooting hoops on them. King James, I'm about to let loose on them. Tell them, I'm about to let loose on them. Tell them, I'm about to let loose on them.
Welcome everybody back to the Fearless Show, episode number 3.
Number 3.
I'm your host, Dario Hunt. My co-host, if you're watching the video right now, Mr. Darius Walker. Say what up.
What's up, y'all? It's Darius Walker, the artist, based out of New York.
Yeah, so we took a couple weeks off since our last show. Definitely got a lot to talk about. First, we took a couple weeks off because Darius was busy, so blame him.
Real busy.
He had some things to do. You had open studios recently?
Yeah, I had my open studios going on. So for people who don't know what that is, basically a lot of artists.
Yeah, break that down.
A lot of artists who have their own studios that they make their work out of. Basically, there's a lot of communities that have a lot of artists, but with mine particularly, it was with my Masters of Fine Arts program. Our group of 60 or so artists in the Masters program have all of our studios open to the public once every semester, and this is my final open studios, and I was trying to go out with a bang basically with the last one, but yeah, so this Friday, it was April 29th, that was the open studios, and it turned out pretty awesome, like a lot of people came out. It's a lot of crowds, a lot of different people that we meet in the city, we tell about it, and it's basically a time where you can, like I said, see the artwork, stuff that's completed, sometimes stuff that's in progress in the artist spaces, and you get to see like 60 different artists' expressions in their creative spaces, so it's pretty cool. But
sounds dope.
Yeah, so, like for me, I showed some different work than I'm going to show in my thesis show, so I actually have my thesis exhibition for my master's program going down May 26th at the Whole Gallery in the Bowery, New York, and that's going to be epic. We've got a lot of big players going down with some really great thesis work this year. Shout out to the team. But yeah, it's just great. It's going to be a big time, big year. We're all making moves. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I was busy. I've had all kinds of stuff going on, I just got into the MFA edition of the New American Paintings magazine.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And that's like a national print, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah,
I feel good, man.
Yeah, I got my art in print in like almost every state in the United States right now, so it's kind of hot.
So I'm assuming the open studios was all new work?
Yeah, all new work. Yeah, it was all new work. I had some found object work this time, because I'm working on a large-scale painting body of work right now for my thesis show. So I put one of those paintings in, but that painting that I showed in open studios wasn't for the thesis show. So I have other paintings that are sort of kind of like a surprise to the public. So, if you're in New York, May 26th, make sure you hit the whole 5 to 9, in the Bowery, because it's going to be nice.
Yeah, mark that down. I'm sure they can find out more about that on LLF. I'm sure you'll post some stuff on there.
Definitely, too. Yeah. Hit my page up at Artist D Walker on the l-l-f.co/Artist D Walker. And I'll definitely have some information up there soon. And on all my other social media, I'll keep you posted. So.
Word. So the last 2 weeks we haven't had a show, but man, a lot has happened recently.
A lot of stuff's going on right now. Some
notable stuff. First, I definitely want to talk about the sudden passing of Prince, man.
That was a hard hitter. Shout out to Purple right now. But honestly, that's epic. I can't even believe that happened still.
Yeah, I mean, I like woke up and I was just reading, some news, and all of a sudden I see Prince is dead, and I'm like, nah, it can't be.
It has to be a joke. Like, yeah, I was like, what is this? That's not funny. Like.
So you know how people always come up with stories how people die or stuff like that, and it's not true. So like I had to like go look on like 5 different sources, actual news sources, to actually see if it was true. Man, it was. Like it's just like whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like it was definitely unexpected.
Yeah, I still can't really believe it. Like it's so bizarre, the Prince thing, and I don't know. There's all this weird talk about what happened, like he got sick and like.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea about any of that. It was just kind of
nobody really
a lot of
knew,
people,
and nobody's really talking enough about it. But I don't know, it's kind of shady, but I'm not gonna shoot out conspiracy theories like like. But
yeah, there's always conspiracy theories, but I mean, it definitely came out of the blue, and like I wasn't expecting that. I mean, when it comes to like somebody as big as Prince, like a cultural icon, like you just one of them dudes that you just kind of just expected, like kind of, I don't know, always be around, even though it's impossible to always be around, but you just like you always just expect him just to be around, doing him.
I mean, Prince is the man. Like I was telling people, like you need to know. Prince is legendary. Like, why is Prince legendary? It was like, well, he was a renegade. Okay, he was like an enemy of the industry. Really, like people don't know why he changed his name to a symbol. It's like because he was like, fuck you, fucking corporation. Like you, what do you mean I can't drop music under my name because I'm having beef with you? You're not paying me the way I need to be paid. Like I'm not gonna release new music. Under your contract, here's some underground shit under a symbol, and you guys get the artist formerly known as Prince now. Like, and that's not how he sold it. He didn't sell it like he was like rebel against the cause, like rebel against society. Shout out to Axcess, but still, like that's what Prince was doing, was like being a rebel, and I just love that about it.
I mean. A lot of people don't even necessarily know Prince outside, some of his big hits, or like the Charlie Murphy story on, Chappelle's show, stuff like that.
Right? Some people didn't know who he was until that.
But I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like up until maybe a few years back, like I wasn't big up on his catalog. I knew obviously all the big hits, When Doves Cry, Purple Rain. Little Red Corvette and all those stuff, but I was like never like
sometimes it snows
huge on Prince,
in April. Like that was sad, like because that's a song. That he sang.
I was a huge. I mean, I still am. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, so I was always big up on Michael, but I was never big on Prince's catalog up until a few years back, and honestly, it was probably for the best because I don't think I would appreciate it the same as I did. When I was older, when I was younger, when I like finally started listening to his stuff, but man, his catalog is ridiculous, yo. Like he has like 30 albums or something like that. Like
man,
like,
and he probably could like put out 30 more albums post. Honestly, like he has that much music in the vault that like he could just keep putting it out. Still,
it's insane, and like the amount of just music he's put out over years, and like me just coming back and like really catching up on his stuff, and man, it's like I'm a huge fan now. Like I'm a huge fan. Like
go watch the man, some, like of his live performances too, because he was a man's incredibly talented. If you watch him on stage, he's so energetic. He's jumping off stuff. Like the man was, and honestly, because you're a basketball player. Like Prince actually wanted to hoop. He wanted to be a basketball player.
Yeah,
and he was, and like people were just like, he's too short. Like he just like he channeled that passion in the instruments.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy, like, because whenever somebody passes away, especially somebody as big as Prince, people always go back and talk about all this other stuff that maybe you didn't know, and there's a lot of stuff I didn't know about Prince until recently that when people really started talking about all the things he did and all this. And like, I mean, like, let's talk about, he had like 10 platinum albums, man. He started writing music like at 7, you know. Like, he had 7 Grammys, a Golden Globe, and like an Academy Award. They're like, this dude's like, he's the definition of an icon, like a cultural icon. Like, when you think about people like him, think about like Michael, and like, you know, just the way that he defined like a whole basically decade is crazy. Like, when I think of the 80s, like, I think of Prince, like, automatically, like, he's one of the first things I think about that whole decade and that era. And like, the way that creative people, like, especially like musicians, can impact culture, like, can just shift an entire culture, like, just from the music is insane. Like, because he changed everything. He changed fashion, like, he changed like the way people thought. Like his impact was like far reaching, not just with music. And that's crazy, man. Like how huge of an impact somebody like that can have just by way of, you know, creating music.
I know so many people around me that, like, you know, you never knew were Prince fans, but, you know, were.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
grieving.
I'm sure
there
my
were people
parents were
grieving around me, you know, like,
yeah.
just like, wow, like, you know, not just Facebook posts. I know somebody who shut down their social media for a week, like, because they didn't want to see nothing. They didn't want to interact because Prince died. Like, they just literally shut down their accounts.
It hit people hard, man. That hit people hard. Like, to have that big of an impact on people from creative music is insane to me. Like,
yeah.
That's why I love like culture and creativity so much, like, because that impact is global, and like it can reach out to people from like anywhere. Like, it doesn't matter about anything like your race, color, gender. Like, it was just, his reach was insane, and like and the things he did were so innovative and crazy that like maybe people didn't even know. Like, there's a lot of stuff I didn't know, like I said, and then to see his impact on everything was insane. You know, like.
Yeah.
He owns an entire color. Like, he owns purple. Like, he owns like an entire color of the spectrum. That's insane. Like,
right. Like, everybody loved Prince, you know? Like, did you see, like, Stevie Wonder? They interviewed Stevie. That was like one of the most like sad, like, painful interviews I've watched. Like, Stevie Wonder was like trying not to cry the entire interview, but like the dude, like the interviewer was like really like making the interview keep going and like asking him questions about Prince and stuff, and Stevie was keeping it really professional and stuff. And like one of the questions that the interviewer asked Stevie was, would you be like able to sing a song for us, or, you know, like about, you know, like for Prince? And he was, you know, it's like, I don't think I could hold it together if I sang a song, you know, like I could probably answer some questions, but that's how much Prince impacted Stevie Wonder. It's like, you know, like, because they've been together, you know, so that was crazy.
I mean, it's just crazy whenever somebody like that dies. Like, you know, I know there's people out there like, man, it's just people die all the time, but like somebody who's had that big of an impact on culture, like it's hard to like think about it. It's hard to like imagine like without him now, like, you know,
right? Like you always thought he was
Prince,
there, you
like,
know, like that's just, you know, that's Prince, you know. There's no more. I mean, that doesn't even make sense that there's no more Prince. Like I feel like I could still go see a Prince concert. Like I don't.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. That's crazy.
I mean, it definitely sucks, and I mean, but also it made me go back definitely and like even go through his catalog again and like really try to like break down all his stuff and like and, you know, it just makes you like appreciate people like that so much more, you know, while they're still here, because that's rare, man, to be that talented and to be that gifted and to impact, you know, the culture that as much as he did. Like, so definitely makes you appreciate, you know, the stuff that they're doing now more than ever. Like,
right.
For me, for sure.
Dave Chappelle and Charlie Murphy, I mean, we at least have to, like, I guess brush on that. That alone, like, that was an actual happening between Charlie Murphy. Like, Charlie Murphy got beat in basketball by Prince, and that's not a joke. Like, that was just Charlie Murphy's like take on it. But like Charlie Murphy and his crew got beat in basketball by Prince for sure.
I'm sure there's gonna be so many crazy stories coming up about Prince. Like, you know,
Yeah.
There's all stuff I went back and looked at, and there's one. Yeah, like remember he did his group called The Time.
Yeah.
And he made an album, and you make a band. You have band members. You bring people in the band. They're supposed to do their jobs, but this dude like recorded every single instrumental piece by himself. Like the only band member to actually make the recording was a vocalist. Like,
yeah,
I was like, that's insane to me. Like you have a band, but you basically do everybody's job, and then they just show up like for the tour. Like it was crazy, man.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Like I don't know.
Just
yeah.
memorize this
That's
and
insane.
play this behind me. Like,
Yeah.
I laid it
Yeah,
out for
they're
you.
telling stories like they're telling stories like the dude who actually made, I forget his name, but the one who actually made his recordings, like the vocals on the album,
Yeah.
like Prince was making him imitate his vocal like inflections as closely as possible, like to sound like Prince when he recorded it first. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man.
Right.
I mean, but
Yeah.
obviously it worked out because the dude was a genius, man. The dude was a
Genius.
creative genius,
Definitely.
point blank.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's hard because then you also lost, we also lost obviously David Bowie not too long ago
Yeah.
either, and he was such a huge icon too.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wasn't that up on his stuff until like until then, they really started talking about him after he passed away. Like
I didn't really know that much about David Bowie either until, I mean, I knew, but
Like,
I didn't
yeah.
know, like just like you said. So, I mean, it's interesting that those situations are what like cause us to interact with their legacy more, but
yeah, I was definitely, I was aware, and everything, but I didn't actually know. Like I didn't really know his stuff like that. But after his passing, and everybody's talking about how big of an impact he had, and obviously it made me go back and check on him. And like, dude's ridiculously talented too, and like I was kind of like, damn, I don't know how I missed that whole boat, but like I'm glad that I had a chance to go back and check his stuff out.
yeah,
That's one. I mean, that's one crazy thing. That's one great thing about being creative and having that big of an impact is that you'll basically live on forever because your stuff is always there. Like this is that's who you are.
yeah.
I mean, like, do you ever think about that? Like with your art and stuff, especially for artists, a lot of times they're not fully appreciated until obviously after the fact.
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole plight of the artist. It's like they tell you that when you're young, like, oh, you want to be an artist? It's like, well, you won't be famous until you're dead. So like you can't, you'll never be rich until you're dead. That stuff. So it's like, okay, but that's what's dope. That's I like hearing that because I'm one of those people that likes challenges, and that's like a challenge for life. Like, to prove that wrong. Like okay, I'm either gonna prove
like
you
I
right
want my
or prove
credit
myself
now.
right. Like I'm either gonna get it. In either way, they'll still be right if I do it right anyway, because the legacy will grow. After that, so like the harder I work, I think the better the legacy is. That's just like I feel like how all the greats do it. It's just to like pour themselves into that legacy they want to leave and express. So
yeah, I mean, basically, you want to live forever, man. Create something special, like So I mean, that was crazy. That was a big one. That definitely hit me hard.
Yeah.
His passing, it just came out of nowhere for sure.
Right.
But so I mean,
but like in terms of music, there's that's crazy. But like speaking of like people that Prince inspired, like Beyonce's album just came out. She was inspired by Prince and
definitely. I mean, there was two major releases that were definitely, obviously somewhere in their DNA. Prince was definitely somewhere in their musical DNA coming up.
Definitely. I mean, Drake.
So these
Drake
are probably,
would be a perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could be Prince for Halloween. Drake should be Prince for Halloween. Is that too
Drake
soon?
views that might be too soon.
Too soon.
Drake views and Beyonce Lemonade, man.
Beyonce's
Probably,
Lemonade and Drake's Views from the 6.
Probably two of the biggest and most anticipated. Well, not probably, definitely two of the biggest and most anticipated albums to drop this year, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
One was a surprise. Beyonce was pretty much a surprise drop. I guess that's the way it's all going now.
That's how she goes.
And
I mean, that's how she's doing it. I mean, you know, if that's how it goes, it's because she started the trend, you know, with her last project.
I mean, she's definitely an icon in herself when you can do something like that, you know. So let's talk about it.
Definitely.
What do you think about it?
I mean, it's crazy. Like, the hype around it it lived up to the hype, honestly. And when I interacted with it, I was surprised because the production alone, like the video, the film, not the video. It was more of a film than a video. But I guess you could consider it a video. I would have to ask them, but like it's more like a film, an hour-long short film. You know, I mean, I don't think it's a short film because short films have to be less than an
short
hour
films,
usually.
and
So it has to be less than 60 minutes. So yes, it's a movie. She made a movie for her album, and it's crazy. There's so much symbolism in between that she throws into just the video, like the visual aspect, and like the lyrics alone are like so amazing. So like adding that on top is crazy.
Like, I love Beyonce, but I've never actually like listened to a whole album where I just thought like whole album front to back was, you know, like amazing. Like, it's always been songs here and there, like pieces of an album. I've never actually like liked the entirety of an album that she's done, to be honest with you. And this is the first album
I think the only time I did that was since Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child was the only time I listened to an album front to back, like all the time. You know, I could listen to it days and days. And
when Destiny's Child was out, I was still only into hardcore rap, so I was not a Destiny's Child's fan at this time.
You missed out, bro.
But this is definitely her first album that I could say like front to back. Like, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect her to go this route with it.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Honestly, I'll have to say my highlight, just to like put it out there immediately, of the album was the good old Southern country song. And off the top of my head, I forgot what the track's called.
Is it Daddy Lessons?
Yes, I think that's the one. It's like that real country beat, like.
Yeah, so you think alike because that's my favorite song too.
Yeah, for real, that's your favorite song. Yeah, and that's so ironic. That's my favorite song because it's a country song, but it's like when that came on, I just felt so happy. Like I don't know why, it just changed my whole day.
I like songs with like the country guitar in them. Like I like songs that mix, you know, R&B, hip hop, and country, and like make it into like I like songs like that. So like when I heard it, like instantly, I was like, "Yo, this is my favorite track off."
It was the most standout. It was the most standoutish and excellent. It was so well done, so well done. It was great.
She definitely went a different route than I was definitely expecting. Like not super pop-ish, not definitely in your face, definitely politically charged.
I feel like she kind of
a lot
just
of messages
established her position as the queen of the game.
I would agree with that, but the Queen has taken also a lot of criticism for her album.
I know.
Been following that?
Yeah, true. Lots of criticism.
What do you think? Like,
I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Criticism. I guess it comes with the territory. Because she's, once you talk about something specifically, everyone...
You open yourself up to definitely public. When you enter that public domain, something especially as touchy as race and stuff like that, obviously, people are going to feel some type of way about it. Yeah, and,
once it hits that, people will either think or know that it's genuine or think that it's purely for the propaganda's sake.
People are trying to accuse her of, just jumping on with the hype train of being, black is trendy, black is cool right now, and it's the political thing, and they're saying she's doing it, she just basically jumping on because it's popular and not because she's sincere about it. What do you think?
What I think is that Beyonce has a daughter. And if you look at Beyonce before Baby Blue and after, I think there's a lot more consideration for the world.
For how she wants to be known, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's more consideration for like her expression. And
My thing is,
she
like,
wants
look,
to leave something for Blue to really, really be proud of her mother for. And
true.
And it might not be this project. Her next project might be the one where it's like even more extraordinary, you know? Like, this is a great project, but I know Beyonce is not going to stop. So I'm even more excited to see what happens, you know?
True.
In a year or two when, you know, she releases the next thing without saying anything.
I mean, for me, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this is going on, obviously, and obviously she's, you know, African American, and if she doesn't say anything about issues or stuff that she thinks going on or she sees going on or what she believes, she's gonna take flack for why don't you speak up? You're in this position, you know, to do something or say something. Why don't you speak up? But then if you do speak up, it's like, oh, now you're just doing it because, you know, it's a cool thing to do and you're not sincere. So honestly, like, I don't really I don't care if she's sincere or not. Like, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Conversation. That's the thing about art, though.
The biggest thing is, you know,
the artist's
like you said,
responsibility isn't like to really teach anybody anything. It's really about just like, you know, getting you to think or feel something and hopefully even discuss what happened when you experienced it, which is like what Beyonce does.
Yeah, if you can make somebody talk about a situation or think about a situation that they never previously would have even thought about doing, then that's successful, right? That's what you want. Like, that's the whole point of art. Like, that's the whole point of creativity, is like to start that conversation.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, to me, the controversy is non-controversial. Like, I don't, like, who cares?
I mean,
like,
and
I just think that she's a human being.
There's a lot of focus on their relationship too, and like Jay-Z cheating and
stuff.
stuff,
Jay-Z,
you know, and like
Jay-Z got fried on the album. He
I know, but that's what's so ironic is that, like, you know, Jay-Z didn't get fried behind his back. Like, Jay-Z's in the studio while she's recording. Like, you know, like, it's like, like, we get it after, like, Jay-Z and Beyonce are cool. Like, he's helping her make the project. Like, you know.
Look, I'm listening to this thing, and I'm like, damn, like, I'm cringing for
Jay.
She
goes in,
man.
though. Like,
she's
it's
going in on you right now. Like, yo,
yeah, man.
Like, she's really
Beyonce
going in on you right now.
Serious.
I'm like, yo, Jay, you might need to make a response track, my guy. Like,
right.
Maybe might think come
Beyonce
back.
could be like in the Kill Bill or something. Like, you know, like coming back with like, yo.
You might need to come with a diss track, man.
Yeah,
like,
she said like if
she
you
would
ever
have man.
like what should I kill him? Like, I'll kill you. Like, yeah.
You know, I mean, I like it though because, you know, normally one of the main things she takes criticism is her perfect image she always has. You know, like she only takes certain questions. She only lets certain people take photos of her at her events and stuff like that. You know, like everything's so protected and so secret about him. Like, and this is like the first time that it's super personal, like in her music. You know, and like she actually like goes there. Like, this came out of nowhere. I didn't know they had marriage problems, and you know, and like. I mean, I guess this dates all the way back to. This puts a lot of things in perspective. Do you remember when they was in the elevator with her sister?
Exactly.
And her sister was throwing all haymakers at Jay. Yeah. So like, obviously,
the elevator. No,
okay.
that's
I'm like,
why
yo, now
it's
this
so
makes
old.
sense. Like, okay.
But that's what I mean. Is like Jay-Z.
I was like, that was what, 2 years ago.
Jay-Z and Beyonce been had like recovered from
Nobody
what
knew.
she wrote about.
Nobody
It's
really
just
knew.
that now we all know for sure.
Nobody knew except for Beyonce's sister, who was looking like Floyd out there, man.
Yeah, man, she was mad, but Beyonce had already talked to Jay then, and it wasn't. You know, I'm not going to speculate as to like specifics, but I mean that elevator situation was in reference to the topic of their relationship in the album that Beyonce discusses. You know,
For me, this is her best album of her career.
best album of her career for sure.
Some of the best production, some like the most, creative and, out there production. Like I love the song that she did with Jack White because I love Jack White.
Right.
And I love Jack White and I love when he was at the White Stripes. And, I love the joint song that he did with their, like, there's no just strictly like radio songs. Like, and it was like, yeah, like, so I think it was her best production. I think it's her best song, like her most personal for sure. And I definitely think like her message by far was like the best. So like to me, this is her best album of her career for sure.
Right? Like it was so personal that music, and then people always. That's a whole nother thing about like writers and like because Beyonce obviously has a lot of like people that get writer producer credit like with her music, but it's not like. It's not like she's not working with people. Like people misconstrue the concept of ghostwriting or contributing.
It's like, definitely.
It's like if me and you
that's a hip-hop culture
sit down and like I'm bouncing ideas off you and I conclude something, that was my idea in the first place, but like it's something that we were bouncing off of each other with, like. I'm gonna give you credit on my work, because we sat there, but like like it's still my work, like that's
a cultural and a genre thing, because other genres don't care like who wrote the song, like and they don't care if you collaborate on a song. That's definitely a genre thing. But while we're talking about ghostwriters, man, let's talk about the other big album that came out, and somebody who's been accused of ghostwriting in his own, Mr. Drizzy Drake, Mr. Wheelchair
Nice
Jimmy finally dropped views. Views
Views
finally
from
came
the
out.
6 is out, and that dropped the
I feel
same
like
day
you've
as
been talking
my
about
Open
this album
Studios.
for very since who?
Oh, my Open Studios was the same day, so it was
it's perfect.
You know what? Yeah, so that's what's funny. Speaking of views from the 6, just like on a little social media tip, like Drake, for his promo, would release on his Instagram an address in the city and a time, and then say just like so. Like I saw NYC today, and then the address at 4 p.m. and I didn't have anything at that time to do, and I was like, it was about an hour and a half before 4, and I was like, I should probably just swing by. I don't know what's going on, but
you made it out there.
I don't. Yeah, there was no details other than just those few things that he had listed. So, like, it was funny. Like, I went through, and actually I got the little, like, prop here. But, like, it's a Views t-shirt that I got. Basically, there's just, like, he just a Views pop-up shop they made. And they did that in, like, all the major cities. They did it in, like, Florida,
Was he there or no?
I don't know if he was there. I saw an Instagram of one of the Views bags, like, on his page, but I don't know if that was management or him or not, because I didn't see him, so I can't.
He, like I said, I feel like he's been talking about this album for a long time. People wait for Views for a long time.
Yeah.
And, special rap, you gotta break it down, listen to it, a couple times before you make an opinion about it.
True.
But my initial reaction when I first heard it, honestly, I was kind of underwhelmed the first time I listened to it. Yeah. On the first listen, you were looking for more. I was looking for more. It was missing.
But
I don't know what to say. It just felt like it was missing something. Like I don't know what, but it felt like it was missing something.
Yeah, at first. For me, but honestly, after listening to it more, I'm not left with that feeling necessarily. I feel like there's a lot of music and a lot of growth. I feel like it's an album that I could listen to and still keep catching new things with.
It's a grower. It's definitely a grower. I've listened to it maybe 4, 5, 6 times, front to back.
Right.
Really trying to break it down. It definitely grew on me, and there's tracks that definitely grew on me more. But I think a problem also was that, a lot of the singles came out, been out for a while.
Yeah.
So at the same time, so like when I hear them again, I'm not as excited as hearing them. I heard them for like months now,
Right.
So I mean, that's one problem. Then another, like, I don't know. It just felt like it was just missing something. But it's a good album. Don't get me wrong. It's a good album, but it just felt like it was just missing something. Like,
but yeah, you know, like even though you said that, like for me, like the things, because there were singles that he had out, but if you listen to the released singles that were like out before, they're not
different.
exactly the same. They're different. And like that's what I thought was great, was that he released Pop Style with The Throne with like Kanye on it as a single, and then his album Pop Style was him only.
Just him.
There was no.
I'm not a huge fan
feature.
of Pop Style.
Yeah, you know, Pop Style is just a nice beat. You know, it's a nice beat with just, you know, like not quite average, like slightly above average bars, you know, not like any like crazy heavy hitter bars. But I don't know, for me, I guess, I mean, Hype is a song, like if for the rap heads.
Hype goes in. Hype, yeah.
Hype goes in. Hear. And let's see, what's the Grammys? That's the one with Future.
Future.
Yeah, that song is, it's kind of feels like a what was that? What a Time to Be Alive, like save, like okay, let's just keep this for views kind of thing. Like when they did it that week, when they recorded, you know.
Well, they should have saved Jumpman if they were gonna do that.
They should have saved Jumpman, right? Like honestly, they should have saved Jumpman and put it right after Pop Style.
Jumpman would have been crazy on this album.
Right.
It needed more energetic tracks. Like, I'm cool with Drake singing. Like, at this point in his career, like, I know. Yeah. Like, you know what you're going to get. Like, you know he's going to have songs where he's singing. And I'm cool with that. Right. But to me, it was like super mellow. I don't know, the beats are super mellow. Like, everything just... I think it needed more energetic tracks, honestly. And, like, I think Drake, it needed harder bars, to be honest with you.
I just realized the whole thing, like... Because I listened to it. It took me a lot of listens. I had to listen to it so many times. But then
my favorite track is Weston Road.
Yeah.
That's my favorite track.
Weston Road.
Because
right after Hype, yep.
It's just 4 minutes of him just getting bars off. That's it. Like, just 4 minutes of him finally just straight getting bars off.
Nice bars. There's some hitters in there. But that's the thing too. If you listen to some of the other songs, the way you listen to Weston Road, you'll hear things that like they're just not like they don't fit the aesthetic. Like they're not gonna like be. You have to be in a certain type of mood, like an open mood, to hear things sometimes. And like this project wasn't about rapping. Like I realized that Views from the Six wasn't about like Toronto. It was like about Drake calling himself the Six God, and like Views from the Six is like him and Toronto in one, like as him. Like this is his roundabout kind of shit, you know. And he gets off a lot of stuff.
When do you think he's gonna get out of his comfort zone though? He's rapping about the same thing. He's been rapping about the same things for a long time now.
I mean, some people would say that he did go out of his comfort zone, but I would say that
I personally don't think he's come out of his comfort zone.
I would say that he needs to just sit and do an album with 40 and no other producers, and I think that's when he'll make his next best project. Because that's honestly, I think that there was too many different styles that they didn't really clash. There was cohesiveness. It's just so the cohesiveness is too subtle for like the project. I felt like, and that's what
like
I love. You're kind of like.
I mean, I love One Dance. I love One Dance.
Yeah.
I love Controller.
Yeah.
Because I've been getting up heavy into like reggaeton and dance hall and African pop lately. So like I love those songs, and I'm glad that he did those, because it's definitely gonna bring those songs that genre a lot more attention than I think it deserves. But I mean, I don't know. That to me, some of the songs didn't necessarily fit on the album, and
I mean, honestly, I just think I like the album. I like the album because I feel like I like it because I don't get stuck in one style. Like I don't have to.
The only song I don't like is Redemption. The only song I don't like is Redemption.
You don't like Redemption.
I don't.
I haven't given it. I like some of Redemption, but I still need to keep listening to it.
The only track I really don't like is Redemption.
I like the intro.
I mean,
I think the intro was better, and I think he should have made Redemption as good as Keep the Family Close.
What do you think this ranks?
In like what kind of scale?
In his catalog.
In his catalog, I would say probably like number 3.
So
it's not.
If you had to rank his albums right now, what would you rank right now, top to bottom? And are we considering if you're reading this is too late as an album?
No. We're not going to consider that as an album.
Okay, so then just straight. No. So let's just go straight studio albums.
Straight studio albums.
Proper releases.
I would say, honestly, I think that's really hard to say. I mean, Take Care. I bet. So Take Care is probably his best album for me. And then, but Nothing Was the Same is really close.
For me, Take Care is number 1. Nothing Was the Same is number 2.
Yeah.
Thank Me Later 3, and this is his 4th album to me. Like to me, this is
honestly, I think this one's better than Take Care. I mean, not Take Care.
Thank Me Later.
Thank Me Later. Yeah, I think. Honestly, I know what you mean. There were some bangers on there with that.
I don't know, man. Thank Me Later and there's some heavy bars on Thank Me Later, especially from Jay and Jeezy, man. There's some heavy bars on Thank Me Later.
I know. That's actually true. Thank Me Later. Yeah, because honestly, if you think about it, there aren't heavy hitter features. There's no heavy hitter features on this album.
Nope.
None. Like, there's nobody bigger than Drake. But that's actually kind of cool. I think that's another thing, was that when he put out that track with like Jay and Kanye on it, people were expecting like, not only that track but other things, and he just kind of kept it in house, with like Party Next Door and Future and Riri.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think my biggest problem is like my favorite rappers right now or the last few years have always been Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, Kanye, and I'll say that we'll just leave it at that 4. Mm-hmm. And then you have Kendrick, J. Cole, and Kanye, and they're all doing new things every time they come out from the album. Right. And then you have Drake. I mean, he makes hits without a doubt. He makes hits. He makes good songs. They sound good, But when you compare it to these other artists, he doesn't take as many chances.
There's not as many risks. He's not taking as many risks. But what's interesting is he's taking small risks, but they have big rewards. Like as much as we're gonna criticize this, those dance hall tracks.
I told you I like the tracks. I like Controller. I like One Dance.
And that's what I'm saying is they're gonna get numbers. Like they're gonna be those sleeper tracks that like don't maybe like turn the club out, but still have to get played every night. The
man is smart. Look, the man is smart. He knows what he's doing. Those songs are gonna open him up to a whole nother audience that necessarily wasn't always up on Drake for sure. Yeah. Just like Hotline Bling did. Like Hotline Bling, same thing. So like I get it. I understand it.
That it like ended with Hotline Bling.
I mean, that was the biggest song of the year, so like he couldn't just not put it out there. I think it was more of like a last minute bonus kind of track,
Like we like it. That's right. We should just put it out on the album. So here you go. Because honestly, Views sounded like the outro. Like Views. Honestly, I like Views. I think Weston Road and Views was probably supposed.
Views was probably supposed to originally be the outro, but like I said. You have Hotline Bling, who is one of the biggest songs of the year, so got to put it out there. So I mean, I like it. Obviously, I liked it a lot, but it was just, I don't know. To me, it felt like it missed something.
Yeah,
maybe it's like I said, maybe it's because I'm comparing him, to my other three favorite artists, and they always push the envelope, especially when it comes to creativity and you know, and their bars and stuff. So like,
yeah, I don't know. In this album, Drake was like referencing a lot more than he was like trying to like make his own new creativity. It seemed like he was referencing a lot of the past, like pre our era, you know, like 80s and 70s rock and R&B classics.
Yeah, feel no ways. That feels like a early, you know, late 80s era type of beat almost. You know,
Yeah,
all
definitely.
the synths and stuff going on. But like I said, good album. Out of the two, I'm taking Beyonce's Lemonade though, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, honestly, Beyonce's Lemonade is it's an amazing album. That album, I watched, and oh my god, the video. There's so much in there. It's crazy.
I
if people thought Formation
I have to check out the video.
was crazy, Formation is a music video. Beyonce made a movie. Okay, so like if Beyonce made a music video and then she made a movie, like that's just what I'm saying. That's like there's different levels of shit going on. Like
check it out.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some other music that came out too, though. So, is there anything else you've been listening to?
Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I was kind of just focusing on what just came out, like for the past few days, just so I could get a focus on it.
A$AP Ferg came out. You heard that one yet?
Ferg came out. I know, but his album was like a bad version of Drake's album. It was more. It was disparate and like. You know, all over the place too. But
my favorite track on there is probably the bonus track.
The bonus game time.
The bonus. I mean, it's not as good as first to me, but I mean, it's still good. I've been listening to that. I've been listening
Trap
to
Lord was his best work. He needs to come out with some good, some heavy. I mean. Honestly, I'm not hating on that album. You can tell he's trying to get more radio play.
You can tell he's trying to get more.
Yeah, no, those are major like streamlined kind of like mainstream sounds. That's probably why I didn't really like A$AP Ferg's new album that much.
I'm on the new level.
A few songs.
That song crazy though.
I know, but that song, like you said with Drake, that single's been out forever.
For a long time.
That came out like last year. Like you forgot that, or you forgot about it, and then it came on again. You're like, "Oh yeah, is that new?" No, that's old. But
he is a victim of timing. He happened to drop right when Beyonce and Drake were dropping. So
why would you do that? Like everybody forgot about him.
Unfortunately, he was gonna get swept under. But I've also listened to Mayor Hawthorne, Man About Town. To like you know him?
Yeah. I haven't.
He's like
I'm not familiar with like,
he just dropped like soul funk. Like he's good. Terrace Martin dropped a project called Velvet Portraits. The jazz man out of the West. He does a lot of work with Kendrick. You gotta check him out. He's dope. Mm-hmm. And Santana, they just dropped a new album too. Santana 4.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And I'm a big fan of Carlos Santana, so that's the one I've been listening to.
He's the man.
A legend. Another icon.
Of course. Got me into a new style of music, man. You know, I started listening to, you know, a lot of guitar-based music just in general. Like, I didn't even listen to that much alternative rock, but I would listen to everything Santana. And then I started hearing stuff like, you know, that Santana would do in other styles of music too, but then, you know, with different bass lines and different, you know, types of singing. And then I realized music was just a massive, like, I never really understood music until I kept listening to different types of music, you know.
Yeah, so, he's one of the ones that got me into, you know, rock and other types of music, definitely. Yeah. He had a way of, you know, bridging that gap, I think, between, you know, the different genres, because it wasn't straight, you know, hard rock. Like, it was, you could just tell the influences from, like, other music too. So, like, he was definitely one of the first ones to get me into it. Mm-hmm. But, you know.
But yeah, I'm not listening to too much else.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I've been just Beyonce and Drake, you know, breaking those down.
Yeah.
That's what's been happening the last 2 weeks, man. So anything else? Anything else you've been up to the last 2 weeks?
Let's see. In the last 2 weeks, well, let's see. I just had open studios. Yesterday, I went to open studios of a few artists that are kind of famous, actually. Renee Cox and Sanford Biggers. I posted a picture of me with Renee Cox on my Instagram, so follow me at Artist D Walker. But yeah, it was a great time just to be in their studio, because she's an artist Renee Cox has been in the game for decades, so it's great to see a black female
Yeah.
kind of art superstar and just kind of hang out with her and talk about stuff. Vibe. So that was yesterday. That was cool. And yeah, I don't know. Not too much else. I mean, Barack Obama just did his last what was that? The
correspondence.
Correspondence. Yeah, the correspondence dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So he did that correspondence speech. That was like some stand-up comedy. Honestly, that was as good or better than Chris Rock's Oscars monologue.
Definitely funny, man.
It was hilarious. He was throwing shots and having a good time up there.
Why not? Going out like a G.
But
so if you're in New York, man, there's a lot of music, there's a lot of art, going on. Yeah. So check it out. Definitely, if you get the chance.
Festival's coming up soon.
Yeah, summer's coming, so a lot of music
summer
festivals
jams,
start coming up. So
there's
check
gonna be, Shakespeare in the Park. The Flux Art Fair and Freeze Art Fair starting this week in New York. Greenpoint Open Studios in Brooklyn. That was this weekend. There's, New York. There's a lot of stuff going on out here.
Summer's coming, spring right now, and summer's coming, man. A lot of culture and creativity in the air. So definitely, if you out there, man, check it out. Thanks for stopping by again and listening to podcast, The Fearless Show, and checking out episode 3 of us. R.I.P. to Prince for sure. We lost a legend, but
rest in power,
luckily,
my friend.
Luckily, he's got such a massive catalog that he can live on forever. So definitely go check out his stuff. I will be doing that for a while now. You can follow me at IMB Hunt, obviously Facebook, Twitter, LLF, everywhere. Where can they find you, Doris?
You can find me at Artist D Walker on Instagram or LLF, and you can find me at Real D Walker on Twitter and Facebook. One thing I wanted to say, shout out our LLF gear. This is one of our retro joints. Dario's got some of the old joints on too. We used to be real fly. We still are even flyer. I mean, I'm sorry that a lot of you will never be able to, actually get these until we maybe do like a throwback years later,
maybe,
if ever,
maybe. I kind of like Prince though. Prince never listened to his old work.
Oh yeah, there's a
I
back
never go
too.
back. I never go back.
Let's see. Can you read that? Let's see.
Fearless, baby. It's a lifestyle.
Fearless, baby. Lifestyle.
Maybe
that's how we walk around, just letting people know. LLF, living life fearless.
Maybe I'll get some throwbacks. They'll never be a straight throwback. You might get an element here and there and some new stuff.
Right.
But like I said, man, I'm like Prince, man. I never look back. He never goes revisits his old work.
Nope.
So neither do I. Keep it moving. Keep
Exactly.
moving forward. But we have some new dope stuff. Some black tees. Some gray tees. Actually, we need to re-up from the black tees right now. So. Because we sold those out. You guys like them so much. But we still have the heavily gray ones. So if you're interested, you can definitely look at those at llfstyle.co. And by the time this podcast comes out, we will be doing a special for the new Black Fearless tees as we reorder some for the masses. So stay tuned for that. If you want to join the conversation.
Watch out for our updates.
Yeah. So, follow Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, our blog, at BeBoldBeFearless.co. You can follow our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at either LLF Official or Living Life Fearless. If you want to join this conversation, give us some topic suggestions. You have any comments about this show or past shows, you tell us a Prince story or something, email us at podcast@livinglifefearless.co. That is .co. Or go to beboldbefearless.co/podcast and submit the form. We'd love to hear from you guys. But other than that, that'll do it for this week. And thanks for joining us, man. Keep living life fearless.
Keep living life fearless, everyone.